Good morning. It is 10 o'clock on the East Coast. I'm Dave Goldman. You're not. This is Boogie with the Bull Thursday morning caffeine. We are live on the Dave Goldman profile here on Facebook and over on the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel. And because William Rayfield from the Patriots Lab is with us, we could be just about anywhere on the internet this morning, because William is, like I said, just about everywhere on the internet. And let's see, there we go. The live chat is open on the Dave Golden profile. Feel free to join us there. Ray, what's new and exciting this morning?
Good morning. I'm just sitting here trying to get into this first cup of coffee this morning. Hope everybody's doing the same. And getting you shared out right about now.
Good. You asked yesterday or Tuesday, I think, if Mayorkas had been impeached. What I read was the House majority did in fact impeach Mayorkas. Now this is, I don't know if it goes to the Senate for an automatic appeal. I don't know if the Senate Democrats would vote to impeach him as a Biden fall guy, meaning take the blame for everything off of Joe Biden and put it on Mayorkas. I don't know if they would do that primarily because it's not enough time to get someone else up to speed as the Secretary of Homeland Security going into the November election, which I hope, or we all hope, Joe Biden is not going to win and our man Donald Trump becomes president. I can only hope, and I'm sure that he does, that President Trump has already picked his cabinet and they're all up to speed so that a new Attorney General and a new Secretary of Homeland Security are all set and ready to go. They know what they need to do, and they do it. But, what do you think? What do you know?
I think the House had to pass it just to save face. I think they were just going through the motions. I don't believe that it's going to get passed in the Senate. This way the House can say they did what they needed to do when it's all said and done. They're just crossing their T's, dotting their I's.
Yeah, this is true. Like I said, I have faith that hopefully this was the wake-up call and our House Republicans will heed the call and do what they need to do between now and November. Will they actually do it? I don't know. I hope any one of them that are up for re-election in November heed the call and start doing it. But do I know? No. I also think that if they are successful and they have impeached Mayorkas, that maybe they should really go after Attorney General Merrick Garland and relieve him of his responsibility, because I think as long as he is the head of the DOJ, that they're just going to keep toying with Hunter Biden. They're not going to prosecute him. I think if and when Hunter Biden has the full force of the Justice Department seeking to indict him, Joe and brother James are going to have to testify in that, and hopefully that will lead to their being dealt with appropriately. And now I will I'll yield my time. I'll yield to you and hold the balance of my time.
Good morning, Lee Priest. Lee Priest.
Lee Priest is a wonderful. Oh, go ahead.
She said 95% need to go, which is correct.
Yep.
What were we talking about? I told you I'm just on my first cup of coffee this morning.
We were talking about Alejandro Mayorkas, more commonly referred to on this broadcast as Alejandro May Kiss My Ass. has been impeached. And I also have thrown in my commentary in the last couple of days that Merrick Garland, who is affectionately referred to on this broadcast as marinated in garlic, will be the next one up. And that I had said to you that I don't think if either one is successfully impeached and removed, it's going to make that much of a difference, because their immediate undersecretary or deputy attorney general in this case is probably no better than both of them and isn't going to do anything to anger their Democrat overlords or puppet masters in the short time that they have left.
You're right. You're right. They're just going to be working for the same people, the same puppet masters. But on a different note, remember we were talking on your last show that I was on. We were talking about how tragedy nearly missed Joel Osteen's Lakewood Church.
Yes.
Well, it looks like there was a mass shooting at the Kansas City Chiefs celebration parade. 1 dead, 21 injured. This is going to be the new norm. This is going to be the new norm. We talked about it. We said it. Where are we safe anymore in America? It looks like big events, at least for me, for a minute, are off limits. Even with the security that they say they had there, it still couldn't be prevented.
It bothers me that, as you just said, it will become the new norm, because I'm 62 and I grew up understanding that a football game or a concert, or my folks taking me to the symphony for a little bit of culture, and the fact that I liked classical, I still do like classical music, that all of those things were an escape from reality. Come sit down, listen to some good music, or listen to someone speak, and not get all wrapped up in the politics. And Dennis DeYoung, the former lead singer of Styx, still travels with his own tour, Dennis DeYoung, the music of Styx. And very often he opens the show with the classic The Grand Illusion and says, we're going to leave where we are, or where you were when you walked into the theater. And I hope that becomes the norm again, because we will scare people if they keep hearing about, mass shootings at football games, baseball games, if it ever happens at a concert venue, if it happens at a rally, people will get scared and they'll just stay home.
You have to forgive my train back there. Everybody knows.
No, that's okay. That's okay. Yep. Oh, speaking of Trump, we go to a Goodwill store here in Middleburg, Florida, just around the corner every once in a while. And every once in a while, I score on something. And I bought, even though it's a 2XL and I will probably never fit into it unless I take it to a dry cleaner I trust and have them try to shrink it down to a 1X or a large, a Trump 2020 t-shirt that I swear to the deity above looks like it was either just made or was purchased by somebody and never worn. And I am just excited. I am just excited that I managed to find one. It's hanging in my closet, and maybe one time I'll wear it on a broadcast, but it's hanging in my closet and will probably remain there to the one President Trump event I go to that I think there's a chance that he might actually sign it.
My feelings are hurt. My feelings are really, really hurt. I'm really disappointed. I'm disappointed today.
Okay.
And after everything I've been through, after how long we've been fighting this fight, I just come to the realization of something.
Uh-oh.
I had to write it down for my show Friday night.
Yep. What was it?
Y'all make sure y'all be there 9:00 Eastern Standard Time in the Patriots Lab Friday night.
9:00 Eastern in the Patriots Lab.
I'm not going to see
write
my
it down
Trump
and be
Biden
there.
rematch.
You're not going to see your Trump Biden rematch?
No, he got TKO'd before the fight. I mean, he's not even going to show up for the fight. I mean, I got money on this fight.
If, to me, and I've said this long ago in the past, if you're a candidate, the Democrat candidate, you're the Democrat candidate, and he is the Republican candidate, or the one that most likely is going to become the Republican candidate, you owe it to America to do that debate.
He's not going to be the candidate, though. They already made that clear. They said he's dumb. I mean, not dumb. Let me take that back. They said he's got dementia. Said he's got dementia. So it's just a matter of time. I mean, there's no way they're going to keep it propped up.
Well, then maybe, unfortunately, they're not going to release who's going to be the candidate, because they probably won't until the Democrat nomination convention happens, which will be brokered so that they can name someone else.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. But according to what I've heard, I haven't really looked at the rules of both parties' nominating conventions. Evidently, in the rules of their nominating conventions, it says that they do not have to give the nomination to the person leading into the convention. They can go into a brokered convention. Anybody can be nominated. And if that person wins the nomination portion of the convention, then they become the candidate. I would just prefer that what they do is, if they're not going to nominate Joe, then they're doing a disservice to the person who they are going to nominate by not just coming out and saying it's going to be Gavin Newsom, or it's going to be Nancy Pelosi, or it's going to be Michelle or Michael Obama. And that way, that person is under the spotlight, and they have to look at Trump and say, yeah, let's do it, or no, I'm not going to do it. But go ahead. You cut me off, and I appreciate that. You should go.
That's when you have two personalities such as ourselves, and we host our own platforms, we know how to navigate through the conversation. Some others may have difficulty, but you know when to jump in. I know when to jump in. That's why I like it.
Okay, I'm learning how to judge when I can and when I can't, and when I should wait my turn. And it's sad that other things didn't work out because of that. But
no, but you
ahead. You were going to say something.
Right. You do it right, because as a platform host, you have to give them but so much, and then you have to automatically interject. I mean, after all, it's your platform. And then once you interject for a little bit, then you let them go again. But yeah, at a certain point, you can't let them just ramble on. Like myself, when I ramble on, you just gotta shut me off. You just gotta cut me, and I'll shut up. I'll shut up because I get it.
I don't want to do that, because it's like you just said. It's, you learn when you can do it and who you can do it to and when you shouldn't. And I kind of gear the discussion as if we were together with a bunch of people. And I wouldn't be any less interruptive or talking in a conversation with people around. I still, I'm exactly the same way I am in front of the mic and camera, whether it's my broadcast or someone else's broadcast, as I am in person. So, but
can you just imagine being that person that is just totally overlooked? See, because the Democrats, they find them. I didn't think you can put yourself in any more of a pickle. If they really want to lose the black vote, if they really want to commit suicide on the black vote, this is just my opinion. They are doing a great job because they are going right past Kamala Harris. They are, and she's like, Coach, put me in. I'm ready. Put me in. I've been warming up on the sideline. I know I ain't been able to, throw the ball in the net or nothing like that. I've been throwing it into the stands and shit. Everybody been seeing I ain't on my job and everything. But put me in. I'm ready. They're like, are you stupid? They're like, that's basically what they saying to her. Are you stupid?
Well, see, I thought she missed the boat on this. Because my understanding was, if you looked at the convention, the Democrat convention, and the Democrat debates going into the 2020 election, Joe Biden and, as I call her affectionately, Camzilla, were exact total opposites. She hated everything he stood for, and he had just no patience for what she hated. And in most cases, she even lied. I mean, I guess the proof is that she grew up in Oakland, California during segregation, but she was not riding a segregated bus to school. And if you look at Joe's, if you don't support me, you're not black enough. To me, she's not black. Her parents her father, I believe, is French Haitian or something like that, and her mother is something else. And I don't see her being black. See, maybe I'm wrong.
What we're finding out is, and Michael Anthony said it best.
Okay.
I can't go into everything. I told you I didn't have my notes.
No, that's okay.
Nobody is who we think they are. It's I forgot my train of thought. But nobody is who we think they are. They're all imposters impersonating somebody that they really aren't. To see how evil the Democratic Party, how demented and twisted that party is. I mean, to not just see what they do to their opposition, such as the Republicans, but to see what they do to their own. I mean, just look at JFK, RFK Jr., a used to be one time affiliation of the Democratic family. Just ask him how they treat people who don't step in line. And then how they are, in my opinion, just blatantly, totally disrespecting, as you call her, Kazilla, whatever.
Camzilla.
How they are totally just disrespecting her by not even putting her in the conversation. And she is allegedly the VP, the border czar, Miss hands off of everything ever since she's been in that position. But she is literally not even in the conversation. So to see how they do their own. They don't even hold structure among themselves.
Yeah.
And
I wasn't laughing at you for a second, but Denise, I won't even try to say the last name because I will butcher
what's
it.
up, Mama D? Good morning. Good
But I will
morning. That's Mama D.
Mama D. I will butcher Mama D's last name so bad if I try to say it that I will embarrass myself. But she put in the comments, they eat their own. And I think it's true. But I started to say a minute ago that I think Kamzilla missed the boat because I'm under the belief that she was brought in as vice president to get Joe Biden elected so that she could use the 25th Amendment back then to get him out and take over as president. But now, the more I look at it, if I understand it correct, all she does is say to the cabinet, I don't think he's capable of being president. And it's a majority vote of all the cabinet secretaries. She does not get a vote because she's vice president, and it would be conflict of interest. So, and where I am now is I don't think any of the cabinet secretaries want to vote yes so that he gets removed because they don't want to go down in Democrat history as being the cabinet officers that impeached him or removed him because they're still active in politics, Democrat politics.
Look,
so
they are throwing this old man under the bus. I mean, it's not this.
They are.
It's
and they should.
The movie. The movie is coming to an end. Everybody's on their last bit. We're down to the kernels in the bag of popcorn now. People are looking for their cell phones, their car keys. We've been talking about this so many years, and now it's hit a climax to where it's finally setting in. I'm not gonna see my rematch of Trump Biden. Neither are y'all. Don't get excited. It ain't like it's just me that's gonna miss out on the fun. So they're done with him. He served his purpose. They wish they could hold on to him. They wish they would love to keep him as the figurehead, but once they came out and said that he is unfit, it's just a matter of time now. It's just a matter of time. That was the nail in Joe Biden's career, and in somewhat, I'm almost glad it went down this way. I can really sleep peacefully when God takes me away from here, knowing that Joe Biden will go down as the dumbest president ever in these United States of America. His legacy is forever destroyed. So I don't care if he goes to jail. The name Joe Biden will go down in infamy as just whoever was the worst president before. They are sleeping so good right now. They are rolling over in their grave, smoking a nice fat one, because they are now considered to be a genius after what this man has done in a short matter of time. You're muted.
What about the puppet masters who are standing behind him, telling him what to do and making sure that he does it, which he doesn't often do? I mean, how will Barack Obama, being one of Joe Biden's puppet masters, or maybe even the main puppet master, affect whether or not the Democrats are stupid enough to nominate Michelle Obama or Michael Obama, whatever you want to call
it? Well, it's not like Barack Obama has any say. Barack Obama is just another one. He doesn't have any say. He's going along with the agenda.
Right. But is he going to have to answer one day for whatever he did in shaping Joe Biden's agenda?
Um, no, no. See. He was lucky enough to not get caught up in the collapse. I don't think he'll be any type of collateral damage. He was able to get far enough away from this crumbling or toppling of this administration. I think Michelle Obama will be smart and stay out too. I think they're just floating her name out there to give hope to people that they're losing. Try to keep them hanging around. But I hope the American people are smart enough to know that the agenda doesn't stop with Joe Biden just because we get Joe Biden out of the way. The agenda goes on. So the struggle is real. The struggle continues. He will go down as the biggest criminal to hold the presidential office. Yes, he will. My grandparents will be talking about Joe. My grandkids will be talking about Joe Biden. Oh, my goodness. The things that they're going to say about this man. They're going to say, Papa. They have Papa up there. That's his name, Papa, in the Patriots lab. We call him Papa.
Well, you brought up Robert Kennedy. What do you? There's no chance they would nominate him, or do you think that they might?
That is that's a choice that the Democratic voters got to make.
There was a time.
In independence.
There was a time, and I hope every Republican or conservative patriot or conservative that hears me say this, there was a time where I thought maybe Trump might be convinced by Robert Kennedy to make him his running mate.
Well, Trump is full of surprises. We won't know until Trump makes that decision.
Yeah.
Put it this way. I've already succumbed to the expectation that whatever decision he makes, I'm going to be shocked.
Word I hear, and I think it was from Michael Anthony, whose word I trust a lot, but word from Michael Anthony was that he's already picked his running mate, and it's not a person who has been in politics before. And then people in my groups are saying they think it's going to be Vivek Ramaswamy.
Well, the only thing I can say is I'm not in Trump's head.
Yep.
As far as I know, he made no announcement. So I can only cast opinion. And right now, like I said, I don't know because he's a man that likes to do the unthinkable. So everybody can say what they feel. I haven't heard anything, and like I said, I'm not in his head, so I don't know.
I am not either, and the man would amaze me anyway because.
And that should be a good answer. That should be a real great answer.
It's a very good answer because I'm the kind of person who would speak what I thought he would do, and then when he does it, just be totally amazed.
That's all I can do.
Because, I mean, we're going to be amazed and impressed with whoever he picks anyway, whether it's not who we thought he would pick or who he actually does pick. Because he's in a different position than most people running for president anyway. He wins 2024. He's done in 2028. So his vice president, sorry I cut you off, his vice president has to be ready to step up and be president in 2028.
Well, see, what people got to understand is he's knocked head with his friends and his foes. So he's that type of person you can be a foe, but present the skill set and the qualifications that he's looking for, and be that alpha dog, and he'll put you where you need to be, because he don't get down like a politician. He's looking to get a job done. He's looking to know when he goes on vacation, his number two got it. So just like in business, he's not best friends with the people that he have in elite positions. He's got them in those positions for their qualifications, because he looks for people just like himself. He don't look for no yes boys. He don't like that. He don't like that. Now he looks for a person that can take direction and take orders when need be, but he's not looking for no yes person. So and it's definitely not going to be, I can definitely say this, it's not going to be somebody that hasn't shown their self to be an asset before. So if he said you did a shitty ass job somewhere, he ain't messing with you. If America know you did a shitty ass job in the area somewhere, he ain't messing with you. That ain't how you get down. So it's going to have to be somebody that has proven to America already, maybe, or has proven to him that they are more than capable and up to the challenge. And he's looking for a truth teller, somebody that's not afraid to put their skin on the line and tell it like it is, no matter what. So it's going to be very interesting. Good morning, Michael Anthony. Good morning, DJ McClain, little bro. See, I got your shit around this morning. Y'all are in there. Y'all are in here with y'all not in the Patriots lab. I'm with Dave Glavin, Boogie with the Bull, and I'm riding with the Bull this morning.
Turn my mic on again. I'm Dave Glavin, and I'm full of bull this morning. Hey, I appreciate everybody who was watching. We got Mama D in the Boogie with the Bull live chat. Jeff Ulrich is in the Boogie with the Bull live chat. Michael Anthony is in the Boogie with the Bull live chat. Michael has a link if he wants to come on to the broadcast. Tonight at 7 p.m., Boogie with the Bull Thursday night live. 7 p.m. Eastern goes live. Michael, you're welcome to be there. William Ray, if you're around, you're welcome to be there. And anybody who is watching is more than welcome.
I got a question for you, Dave.
Go for it.
I got a question for you. How do you, and be honest, how do you feel? How do you feel today knowing that all of your work that you've been doing for the past couple of years in this area here of politics has not been in vain? How do you feel knowing that because you're suffering with a little dementia, you wasn't going crazy? You knew what you were talking about. You knew what you were seeing. And in the eyes of all adversity, you kept it 1,000 and you brought the actual and factual to your followers. Just to see it all play out now. Knowing, not saying you got to say I told you so.
No, I'm not that kind of a person. I am.
We told you so.
I just say we're right. All of us who do these broadcasts, we're all right. But all the people that watch the broadcast are right too. And then I would come back and say, now that we know we're all right, what are we doing to stay right and move ahead? Someone asked me the other day how I really feel about this situation between me and some of the other people that used to be part of Boogie, and I had the privilege to be part of theirs. And I have said to just about everybody, God taught me a long time ago, when he slams a door in my face and I burn the bridge to that door, it's time to turn around and go across whatever's left of that bridge and do something else. And, you know, I'm glad that you've been a part of this for the 3, 4, 5 years. I actually don't know anymore. It's not that I don't remember. It's I had every single Boogie with the Bull that had ever been done in the history of Boogie with the Bull stored in a group on Street Lock, and I deleted that group by mistake, so I don't actually know how long it's been. But my point is that I have tried in all the time that I have been doing this not to tell people how they need to think. I've just tried to give them maybe my view, other people's view, and show them, and then you decide what you want to do. And where I'm at right now, and I'm seeing is that we're right. I'm just glad that Camzilla didn't become the vice president, because I don't know where she would have taken us in the direction. Rumor that I still hear today is that she is farther left than Joe Biden is. So I don't know what that would have opened up for her within the Democrat Party.
That's not true. That's not true. She
Okay.
ain't. If she was as far left as they say, that's just the team player that they want right there. That's the see they can reel them back to the center. It's getting them to the left. The far left is where they have a problem. See, and I think with Kamala, somewhere they realize deep down inside there's a bucking point with her. See, there's a bucking point at which she'll be like, this is a little bit too much, and they don't want to take that chance, because you got to remember they put her in there as a representation of a people. So of course if she got to the spot, there would be expectations from the people, for the people, about the people, and they're not trying to put themselves in another pickle. They don't want to rock the boat. They don't want to get Black America up looking forward to nothing. They want Black America focused on the lies that they feed them, and they don't want to take a chance of Kamala saying, you know what, let me go ahead and steer this boat a different direction. So they don't take that thing.
I just don't think she can deliver the Black vote. And it's not primarily just from listening to Donald Trump saying that he has the Black vote.
She's dumb.
The whole show that he does,
she's dumb. No. I mean, it took a while for them to see, but no, she can't. No, she can't. No. She's a
I mean, I don't think Joe has it either. I don't think Joe has it. I don't think Joe has the Black vote either.
No, I mean, they don't have it no more. They don't have the Latino vote. They don't have the minority vote. The only vote they got is the vote of their base and the minority of Americans, because it used to be the majority. Now it's the minority. Yeah. The minority of Americans that still want to pay all the high prices for gas, still want to, deal with, the ABC situations in restrooms, and still want to deal with the men beating up the women in sports and stuff like that. See, we still got those people.
Yeah.
So that like seeing the president sniff little girls' heads and stuff like that. We still got those people,
And now I watched a Jesse Waters video yesterday where I guess the FBI is admitting for like the last 40 years, for the last few years, I think it was the last 15 years, they said, they've had 40 agents working full time on the Bidens. And they know what they have done wrong and continue to do wrong. But my question still becomes whether or not those 40 agents have the balls to sit down in front of the House or the Senate or a combined committee and admit what they have. That's a completely different thing. But they know.
Listen. this has been a very interesting life experience. I'm glad I was able to witness um, the what do you call it? The existence of such an organization such as this government that is running this. To really be able to sit back and not listen to what nobody says, and to really be able to sit back with an open, objective mind and watch what has taken place, to see them literally try to set up and take down a sitting president, to see them do all of the things that they've done, the lies that they've done, the cover-ups that they've done, the excuses that they've given, and to see them just do it at will and get away with it. I am beyond words. I am lost for words. We teach Americans better than that, and we hold Americans accountable to situations like that. And to see the people at the top tier do the exact things that we preach against here morally in this country is freaking Randy the genealogist roses. I mean, that's what it is.
Hey, I apologize for being late. I just got back from Tennessee where I was in a meeting with the commanders there, trying to figure out how to peacefully take back our states. So I got a lot of information, a lot of good stuff going on.
I heard you were negotiating with them to allow Boogie with the Bull broadcasts in their groups.
I mean, I only have so many devices, so many hands to work with here.
Yep.
So a lot of hats I'm wearing recently. But yeah, we're
don't try to fool us. You already picked up those devices. You're trying to make it seem like you got a bunch of devices. You picked those up twice.
No.
Randy's got more devices than anybody I know other than me.
Here's two.
I've been trying to find out who's been hacking into my stuff.
But Randy has devices that work. It's not just like I will show this one and then grab this one and try to impress people with all the devices that I have. Randy has all these devices that work.
Hey Dave, Randy has just a little bit too many devices over
Here's
there.
another one.
Hey, did that say FBI on the back? Turn that one over.
It did.
No.
Facebook Incorporated.
No. You didn't see anything on that one.
How you doing this morning, Randy?
But seriously, we are in discussions. And I know there are aspects of our group who thinks that the organizations that I talk about and I'm proud to be members of is a bunch of shit. And he has equated us to the level of National Guard, that we are not worth the paper that we're written on, and that we don't deserve to be paid, blah, blah, blah. And that's not the case. I mean, in all seriousness, there are people who are organizing peacefully as well as preparation, in case of a war, to separate the North and the South. And right now, it is the best possible time, because we have a government that is in turmoil. We have a government who is attacking the very people it's supposed to be protecting. And when you have 12 states, maybe a little bit more, bringing in some northern states who are starting to see the light of day, who are saying that, the people in the South, that they know what the hell they're talking about. And they want a government that is representative of the people, okay, and a government that respects the people, and in return, the people will respect the government. So there are, there are people who are actively in politics, who are have the ear of the governors, who are using the Constitution to legally once again, separate the nations. And I know, Dave, you have your comments about what happens if you got a state that's in the middle of a whole bunch of states. What do you do? Well, you talk about it and decide which way they want to go. Otherwise, they just have to, pay tolls, go between the states to get to where they want to go. But no,
we are the United States of America. And I'll say that if you're in a blue state and you all of a sudden get surrounded by red states, or you're in a red state and you all of a sudden get surrounded by blue states, the reality probably is going to be that your state is going to become red or blue other than what you are. And you may have to pack up and move to another state if that's what you want to do. Now, Don and I moved to Florida to live with family because it was important at our ages and issues that I have to have family around us. And if Florida were to become a blue state, I don't know if we would move. I don't know if we would. I mean, we lived in Canada. I was going to say Canada. We lived in Connecticut for years, and Connecticut's a blue state, and I'm a red voter. So, go ahead, Brady.
I guess to address your question is, what if, God forbid, I was a liberal and I was living in a southern state, and all of a sudden I wake up and I get my morning coffee, my newspaper to read that the nations have successfully seceded, and there's now a new nation of the South, and here I'm a liberal. And I totally hate, and all of a sudden I'm seeing, the Confederate flag at the post office and at the banks and, at the now, new fertilized buildings. And I'm curling up into my little fetal position because I can't stand the sight of the rebel flag. The choice you have is to accept it, like we accepted the lifestyles and the government harassing us all these years, or you move to a state that better suits your personal beliefs. When you think about it, 7 to 10% of our nation is forcing the rest of our country to live under the condition of acceptance of transgenderism at the age of 5, or the hatred of our flag or whatever. So you got 10% forcing 90% to live because 9% are afraid of the 10% because 10% are more violent than we are. But
I want to interrupt you for a second. I'm sorry, but that's William and I were talking about that. That's what I do, and that's how I am.
Do his best, right?
On the transgenderism thing, I come down to the ultimate point is that if we send our children to school, to a public school, and they're teaching that, and my child comes home who's 5 and says, "Dad, I want to," or "Papa," because a lot of kids these days are adopted by their grandparents. Something happens to their parents, and fortunately, there's grandparents or aunts and uncles or somebody to step up and be the parents. We raise our kids until they're 18 years old. And it's our responsibility to prep them to go out and deal with the world that we're going to leave them. We just got to get that stuff out of grade I don't know, preschool through college as far as I'm concerned, but preschool through, I don't know how high school, maybe, because they're not teaching children another gender. They're teaching them the genders they want them to become. And to me, that just seems to be doing something wrong. And maybe it's they want to ultimately have control of the government and control of the body politics, and meaning Congress and all. And that's the citizenship they want. It just seems to me that we stood back and just let this happen. And I know that parents went to school board meetings and got labeled domestic terrorists and this and that. And some turned to homeschooling. But it just seems that we as the voters, we as the citizens, we as the people who should be running the government haven't done enough to say to the government, because the government tries to shut us down as often as they can, but we're, like the song is, hey, we're just not going to take it anymore. And that's what I hope this election 2024 between President Trump and whoever, I really want to see it between President Trump and President Biden. And I want to see Biden forced into having to have presidential debates with President Trump, because as I was going to say to William, I don't think President Trump has to play hardball of any kind and have a classic debate with Joe Biden. I think he just has to say something, because odds are Joe Biden will not understand what he said, not know how to respond, probably turn around and start asking someone who isn't even there to give him an answer, or show that he had some kind of a speaker in his shirt sleeve button, with people telling him what to say, because he's that screwed up. And because he's that screwed up, I don't think anybody's going to vote for him anyway. I don't even think Democrats are going to vote for him.
Well, like I said, Dave, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to see the rematch between Donald Trump and Joe Biden. They're letting him they're letting him do his victory lap. When you play sports and you're out of your prime and you're 55 years old, and they let you throw the jersey on one last time and they parade you around the country, and everybody just who liked you are going to give you your respect, give you the standing ovation. You score one basket, nobody's guarding you. They say, wow, he's 56 years old. He scored in a game against 30-year-olds and, stuff like that. Joe Biden is that kid they hand the ball off to and everybody moves out the way so he can get his victory run down to the end zone. I listened to a parody the other day. He's the king that they let run out naked, the naked king. Remember that? Everybody made fun of him. The people around him would never tell him he was naked and would never tell him. And then one day they just let him go out in front of the public, and the public knew he was naked. And they just started shaming him, making fun of him.
No. What wasn't it? Correct my memory. He was the king, and he wanted to be dressed the most beautiful way possible. So this guy convinced him to pay him to design these clothes, which were not there, but convinced the king that he was wearing these clothes. He looked absolutely handsome, and then he wanted to show off his clothes to the townspeople. So everyone was told, now don't say anything. Don't say anything. He's not wearing clothes, but just pretend he's wearing clothes. So he walks out and he's going down this path, and and I heard this little child, and the child says, "Mom, he's not wearing clothes." And that's what breaks it open, if I'm not mistaken.
You're probably right.
I think it's something like that. I don't remember, and it's not the dementia anymore. I just honestly don't remember.
But the parody there is phenomenal when you think about it. That that the king or Biden, and their mindset, he thinks he's wearing all these gorgeous clothes. He thinks he's the president of the most powerful nation in the world. Okay. And he's talking to these dead people, and God knows he could be. Okay, who knows? Okay, in today's world.
Well,
But
there are hallucinations that come into dementia at some point, or are possible, but he's spending like you're starting to say, he's spending too much time in dementia talking about or talking to people who aren't there, almost to the point that I want to say that maybe somebody who wasn't really there was behind him and tripped him going up the stairs to Air Force One.
Nah, Papa, and I've been saying it a long time. I've been saying it before people been saying it. I've been feeling sorry for Papa a long time. I've been telling people we can't hold this. Oh, listen, if you have any type of compassion in your heart, if you have any type of elderly relatives in your family that you will not dare have the car keys, if you know what it's like to,
hey, that's a sin. That's a sin to say on a Boogie to the Bull. I'm in a Boogie with the Bull broadcast to a guy who drove professionally for 40 years. We won't hand you the keys to the car. No, I'm just teasing Ray. I wouldn't want them to hand me the keys to the car anyway.
The moment I seen Papa shuffle to the podium, with his arms, I mean, come on.
Exactly, his walking was downright. This is an old man. This is a feeble man.
He can't close his mouth. I mean, when you can take any video and it'll look like a still shot with his mouth open because he can't close it. I mean, he just standing around. I feel sorry for him, and shame on Jill Biden for putting her husband. Well, she's just as involved as he is, so I guess she's got to go down with the ship. But
I hope, beyond the shadow of a doubt, that she is fully investigated. And if she did anything wrong, including elder abuse, that something happens. But by the same token, I know, just because I'm going through this, that we get to a point where we have what I call handlers. And they're people that I want around me all the time because they know how to handle me. Dave. So if I all of a sudden start yelling at someone, they can say something to calm me down.
Or Did you say if she did anything wrong, like Elder C?
Well, I know she did, but I'm wording it to give her the benefit of the doubt.
She gets no benefit of the doubt.
Well, okay, but listen, let me finish my thought. She gets benefit of the doubt only because, again, this is America. And yes, I can look at her and say, you broke the law, you did this, you did that, you did this, you did that. But unfortunately, I'm still thinking in this country, maybe that's part of my dementia, that everybody, regardless of who you are, gets a chance in court to challenge whatever anybody charges you with or presents yourself with. But yes, she is she is definitely engrossed in this situation because, like I just said, she obviously is his handler.
There is nobody in America that would let Papa drive them anywhere. If Papa pulled up in anybody's driveway and said, "Come on, you going for a ride," they'd be like, "Listen, I understand you the president and everything, but this is one ride I got to pass on." They know what she doing is just blatantly inhumane.
Right. They do.
But they know that they so deep into it that there's nothing else that she could do. There's nothing she can do. There's nothing she can do.
She's being paid to be there. First off, doesn't she get a paycheck for being vice up being a
No, she does not get. I mean, she's probably getting money. She's getting money from the Biden crime family and
yeah, that's what I'm about to say. She's been getting paid for a long time.
But as far as being first lady, no, she doesn't get paid. She does get, I think, a certain amount of money is allocated to operate the office of the first lady within the White House and her staff, but she doesn't draw a salary like Joe does for being president.
She'd be offered an income for writing a book about you, TV series, the talk shows. She
get residual. She get her little check off.
I'm sure she will. What I think you'll probably see in this case is you won't see her write. Although she might, you'll just never not see them or hear about them. She may write some of her own books about her time as first lady and her time with him. But what I think you're more likely to see is that you will see books that they co-authored. But again, I don't think anybody wants to. I don't think anybody wants and Joe may not be able to write books because, again, in some states you can't profit from your crime, so you can't write a book, you can't sell the movie rights, you can't, so that all yet has to be seen.
You know what else is crazy?
That's a ghostwriter.
You know what else is crazy? How come? Just because you the damn wife of a president. Do you see Andy Reid's wife, who's probably been to 1 million football games that he coached? Do you see her trying to get a head coaching job somewhere? How come it is the wives of these presidents feel entitled that they can run the damn country because their husbands held the title president? Michelle Obama, she thinks she can be president because Obama was president. Her husband was.
Hillary does because Hillary. I don't think it was Bill Clinton who ever had any aspiration to be president. I think it was Hillary and used Bill to get as close to being president as she could.
I'm just using the scenario of women
that goes back way back in the presidency of our nation, where the lady of the house, she was like the Queen Pradana. I mean, she was able to.
Which was the last one before Hillary that you heard her husband was president and then she wanted to take the president throne?
No, you didn't. I mean,
that's what I'm talking about.
You heard comments from Laura Bush every once in a while. When Jimmy Carter was president, you heard from Rosalind, who kind of was like maybe a step closer to the actual citizens because she was out talking to them and dealing with them more. When Bob Dole was a senator,
run the country.
Right.
None of them proclaim that they can run the country.
When Bob Dole was a senator and they wanted him to run for president and he turned it down, they approached Elizabeth Dole and said, "We think we can get you elected." And of course, she turned it down because in those days, no one was talking about a lady president.
But now you got these new I call them new age women, the new breed. They figure because and you know, because they was privy to some shit that their husband handled, that they
Right.
are now experienced enough to do this. I'm like,
Right.
yo, really? And America's ready to vote for people. I mean,
I guess within the House and the Senate rules, if you're the husband or wife, I only know of wives that did it, and your husband, the elected
why would anybody vote for
representative,
Michelle Obama?
well, I'm just saying that in the House or in the Senate, if you're the wife of a senator who passes away, you are allowed to step up and take over. Paul
But you're
Tsongas
not running the country.
was a senator. No, right, but Paul
Okay,
Tsongas.
I don't want to compare apples to oranges.
Okay.
No,
What?
I was just checking. So Edith.
Well, it wouldn't happen as president anyway because your vice president takes over when you pass away.
Edith Bowling Gott Wilson was the second wife of 28th President Woodrow Wilson. She served as First Lady from 1915 to 1921, but after the president suffered a severe stroke, she took over the powers of the White House to do pre-screen all matters of state functionality, running the executive branch of the government for the remainder of his second term. So essentially, she was running as president.
Right.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we had a woman. She was the first female president.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, Mr. Genealogist, doing some genealogy as we
probably the only one. Probably the only one, with the exception of Hillary Clinton, who probably ran Bill Clinton's.
But this woman was actually and factually in charge of the executive branch.
Yeah.
So she was.
Yeah. She was acknowledged in theory of being, the president for the remainder of his term. Yes.
Wow. So we have had technically our first female president.
Yes.
Learn something every day on Boogie with the Bull.
There you go.
Yeah. I don't believe in the history of the presidency there is anyone else who is acknowledged the same way as Wilson's wife was. I do believe that there were dialogue after the Monica Lewinsky thing broke in the family quarters of the White House. I believe beyond the shadow of a doubt that there were conversations between Bill and Hillary where Hillary said in no uncertain terms to Bill, "You're going to listen to me and do what I tell you to do. And in theory, I'm going to be doing your job, but I'm not going to have the title. And if you don't listen to me and you don't do what I tell you to do, I will divorce you. You will become impeached. You will never serve as president again. Your history will be ruined because of what you did to me." And
no.
Yes. And I have friends who worked in the White House, on the White House advance staff, on the Secret Service side, who have said to me, yes, they heard those arguments take place. But
okay. Well, if you take that theory, then you have to believe that they weren't part of the whole deep state, which they are. You got to understand, when you have a couple like Hillary and Bill Clinton, I'm just using them for a prime example.
Yeah.
Hillary can get away with bleach bitten 33,000 emails, things of that nature.
Right.
Bill Clinton can get away with stuff in classified information in his sock drawers. They go into this. They are indoctrinated already into this deep state that has been going on presidents before them. So neither one of that's why there's no power struggle, because they're both in the game and their life issues are just taking place within the game. It's not a power struggle because they're both under the control of the deep state. So it's not like Hillary's going to say, well, if you don't listen to me, this is going to happen to you. She's under control. She's under the control of the same people that Bill's under.
Well,
So
yes,
there's no
but-
for that to be true, the latter statement can't be true.
well,
Now
go ahead.
they can argue about different things, but as far as her saying you're going to do what I say, no, because she's doing what she's told to do the same way he's being told. It's not like she's jumping out of the chain of command. She is still in the chain of command along with his ass. People need to understand that they were just pawns in a 70 plus year plan that's been taking place. They haven't been in control. Somebody control them.
Right, but I believe the people that controlled the Clintons understood that it was Hillary who had the aspirations to be president, who was going to play the deep state and do whatever they told her to do and or whatever she decided to do to one day make herself president. I think she rode Bill Clinton into the White House as a two-term president because that was part of her overall plan that would have eventually one day helped her get elected president. I don't believe.
No. See, Bill Clinton did such a wonderful job at what he did. The American people, or she assumed that she was just a shoo-in until everything just started crumbling. Everything just started the armors started getting crinks in it, and then along came Trump and ruined everything. She didn't take it. I don't believe she took advantage of Bill Clinton, not through all the years of his governorship down there. She was along for the ride, yeah, but she was chosen after they realized that America loved Bill. That they love Bill. We got their ass psychologically. They're gonna love Hillary because they think Bill coming along with her. They love the saxophone playing Bill on our City Hall. Y'all don't remember that pandering?
No,
Y'all think? Come on now. Come on.
I remember all of that, but that was Bill. That was President Bill being able to show that he was that he was in tight with the people who voted for him. But I believe that Hillary Clinton was just as much involved in the back of what was going on while Bill was governor as she was while he was a president. She stood up, and she's the one who went after, while he was governor, the ladies who he was having affairs with, that when they broke off and were going to try to go public, she's the one who, bullied them. When he was president, she's the one who bullied them.
You know what convinced me that she ain't as strong as people believe her to be? Because if she was, she would have got rid of Bill's ass when he had her.
Yeah.
Well,
she is part of the puzzle, and she has to take the good with the bad. That's the game. Y'all are in it.
Right, but if I can't confirm that the conversations, like I said, that friends of mine who were on White House advanced staff heard actually happened because I wasn't there. These particular people I trust because I've known them for a long time, and I'm going to believe what they tell me they heard. But if Hillary had done the right thing, as a lot of people would have wanted her to do, she would have divorced Bill Clinton while he was a sitting president. She would have gone public with all the dirt that she had on him. She would have testified and did everything she had to do to get him removed, and still continued doing what she was doing, because the last part of the puzzle was a conversation where she said to him, I'm leaving, I'm going, you find me a district. She talked to people at the DNC. Go ahead.
Let me, and this is a serious question, because this just goes back And don't get upset and everything, because I'm just asking you a question. This is how my brain works. This goes back to what I said earlier. I don't believe that your people that you talk to, and it's just my opinion, was literally in the room with them. So the people you know was literally in the room. So because you got to have firsthand information. So you know people inside the White House that was inside the room privy to the altercation between. I would love to meet them because those are important people, obviously.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. If you know people that were directly in,
I don't know if they were. I don't know if they were in the room. I don't know how close they were. I'm not going to get there. No, I didn't say they were in the room. I just said that they were White House advance staff and they were in the family residence when conversations, which I'm sure were very loud, were taking place, and they heard them. Also, there is rumor that, but it was never confirmed, because I don't know who at the DNC would confirm it, that Hillary went to the DNC and said, you find me a safe district somewhere in the United States where I can get elected senator, because that's my next step in working on being able to move up and become president.
Okay.
Someday. Okay. They found Chappaqua, New York.
Right.
She moved to Chappaqua, New York, established residency. She ran, she won, she got in. There, she met Barack Obama. I don't believe that up until whatever happened, that the Democrats decided they were going to nominate Barack Obama. I believe the plan was the Democrats were going to nominate Hillary Clinton, but they shoved her aside and brought Barack Obama in. Why? First black male president that they could elect, and they did. I also have said on many Boogie with the Bull broadcasts that I believe the most important position in a president's administration is not vice president. It's Secretary of State, because you do everything. You meet with everybody around the world, just like a president does, because you represent that president. So that at the end of your term as Secretary of State, you are ready to run for president. Because I don't believe that Barack Obama had any intention of running Joe Biden as the next president after him.
Well, you know what I've learned, Dave? If you have the title as vice president and you're not allowed to do the job of a vice president, that's what we're going to see.
The only job you have as vice president really is to hang around and wait for something to happen that your president takes.
This is the thing.
Takes out your president, because the only authority you have as vice president to do anything is what your president allows you to do.
But what I'm saying is, if you're the vice president and the Secretary of State is the one traveling around doing all the shaking and wheeling and meeting all of the leaders, what use is the vice president if something happens to the president? That's why.
Because the rules of the game say that you have a vice president, and the vice president is like the king in waiting. If something happens,
but why would you have a king in waiting with no experience?
Well, also the vice president is the president of the Senate. They hang around and they get to vote. They get to break a tie if it's a split. If it's a 50-50 vote, they get to break a tie. That's all.
Do you believe the vice president is capable of going around and talking to world leaders?
If the president thinks they are, I don't believe that Barack Obama had any faith in Joe Biden going around and representing him. And I say that because if I was president and Joe Biden went to Ukraine and he said, I'm not giving you a financial aid check that my president sent me here to give to you unless you get rid of this attorney general here in Ukraine who's trying to come after me for crimes that he thinks I committed in Ukraine. Because if I was president, as soon as Joe Biden got off of that plane in Washington, D.C. and stepped foot in the White House, I would have said, pack your fucking bags, excuse my English, and get the hell out of here.
Okay. Well,
and I've said that, and I've said, and I've said, and I've said that before too. But then again, I don't profess to know everything. I don't like quoting what other people tell me that they've heard because, again, like you said, I wasn't there. I don't have any proof. Hillary Clinton, as Secretary of State, I believe, is the one who sold the United States interest in Uranium One, the largest uranium mine on planet Earth. Why didn't Congress, when that happened, step up and impeach her for the fact that she doesn't have the authority to do that?
Because she's part of the playbook. So they're not. That's why there's no mystery answer. She's part of the playbook. So she's going to be just like she bleached her 33,000 emails.
I don't believe that
cell phone, laptop.
I don't believe that the Democrats could have had in their playbook that the United States is going to sell the largest piece of the largest uranium mine on Earth.
Why not?
To somebody else so that we don't own any of it anymore because they still need uranium to build nuclear weapons.
Look what they did to the pipelines. Look what they did. Look what they're doing to fossil fuels. They don't care. You think these people care about a certain situation? They don't care. Hillary Clinton did not make this power move on her own, because if she did, and she wasn't approved by the higher powers to be, they would have locked her up. That's just common sense. If you don't align with the people agenda, just ask Trump what happens to you when you don't play ball. So when she made that power move, she was told to make that power move. She said, Hillary, here's your next play.
When Joe Biden was told, deplete the United States strategic oil reserves so that we don't have it.
Yeah.
And the Republicans were running the House. Why didn't they impeach him? Because he's not allowed to do that.
They didn't have the votes.
I don't believe that's true. They didn't have the Senate.
Well, so they didn't have the Senate.
They didn't have the Senate, so they couldn't have. But if the Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer had said, "We agree," he would have been out. But Trump sat through 2 impeachments that the Senate, one Republican Senate and one Democrat Senate, simply said, we're not going to take it up. So he remained as president. So, I mean, to me, the game of you listen to what your party tells you to do, in some cases, your party is going to tell you to do whatever they're going to tell you to do. If you break the law and do whatever you were told by them to do, the minute you're no longer president and you get indicted and you sit before the Supreme Court and you look at John Roberts and say, I did what I was told to do by my party, his job is to say you're guilty as sin.
You got to understand, first of all, it's not a party that's doing this. It's a combination of all of it. It's not one party that's doing it. It's a combination of all of them. And hopefully they're held accountable, because you got to understand, it's like being a quarterback throwing a game or happen to throw a game. If your coach tells you to do a down and out, Damn it, you throw it down and out, even if there ain't no man going to be there to catch the ball. And what these people are doing, when you understand and realize it, that it's a plan, it makes it less complicated.
No, I understand.
They've been handed off the ball, and the referees have told the players to move out the way, and they're running straight down the field with the football. But unbeknown to them, they keep hitting the ball with their knees and keep fumbling the ball all over the place. They're never going to make it to the end zone. They're never going to make it to the end zone. And it's all self-inflicted. It's all self-inflicted.
I'm not going to get into the discussion about how corrupt the sports leagues are, or team owners are. No, only because I can't prove it. I can't prove it. But then it gets into conversations of, I've had this conversation with someone, and they believe that the NFL is so corrupted, it's the refs who decide which games get thrown, or who wins or who loses.
Hey, sports is all over.
Right. Or it's the WWE, it's the Vince McMahon and his daughter McMahon, and when Linda McMahon was part of it, and all the other investors who decide who wins a fight and who loses a fight and who wears the belt.
That's when you stop. That's when and you're right. Once you figure that part out, that's when you stop trying to figure all that shit out, because you'll never know. Right. You'll never know. That's big money. That's big money right there.
But you just said it's big money. So I'm sure that carries over into every other aspect of our life here in the United States, with a government that doesn't necessarily have to do or thinks they don't have to do what the Constitution tells them they're supposed to do, and what we, the people who elected them, think they can do, because they'll always come up with a reason or a way to get around doing what we need to do. I've said a few times on Boogie with the Bull broadcast, and fortunately no one heard me say it, because I've never gotten into this discussion, but personally, I think the parties need to be removed from the House and the Senate. You're not elected as a Republican from your district. You're elected as the best person to represent the people of your district in the House or the Senate. It doesn't matter whether or not you're a Republican. It's majority of your district, or a Democrat. The majority of the people in your district think you're the best person to go do the job, and you go and do the job. It doesn't matter whether or not you're a Republican or a Democrat in a perfect world, because you're not going there to vote for yourself and the people who paid to get you there. You're going there to represent the people who sent you there.
Unfortunately, that genie will never be put back in the bottle.
That's true, but the genie should be put back in the bottle. That the president shouldn't be the president's personal politics. He or her being a Republican or a Democrat or an American neo-Nazi or whatever party they personally vote for, shouldn't be part of getting them elected either. Also, because you listen to Joe Biden, and it's 100% BS when he says it, that I'm not the Democrats' president, I'm not the Republicans' president, I'm everybody's president. And it's a great thing to hear him say, but he doesn't believe it, and he doesn't even listen to himself saying it, because again, he shouldn't be, the Democrats got me elected, or the Democrats stole the election for me. It should be a popularity contest based on who the majority of the people who vote think can do the best job. And again, like you just said, that genie's never going to go back into that bottle.
Every time the Democrats have something to say, it's always about mega this, mega that, mega this. I'm just glad everything it's happened the way it's happened. It almost makes me not do any shows anymore because I get tired of piling on the Joe Biden papa bandwagon. But it's exhausting,
Right.
and
Well,
it's time to relax because it's I want to say it's over. Put it this way, the credits are starting to roll. The
they
credits
are.
are starting to roll on the screen. You can stand up.
But the credits started to roll the day that Joe Biden got elected.
For those who were anticipating a Trump-Biden rematch, I'm sorry to disappoint you.
Right.
We will never, ever witness that, unfortunately. But
Well,
like I stated before,
it's
I'm satisfied with the way his demise took place here. He'll go down in forever shame, forever the most corrupt president in our time. Like I told you, whoever was the last worst president is smoking, drinking, rolling over in their grave, doing two-step right now.
It's sad to say that you won't see, or we won't see, the three of us on this screen won't see the rematch of Trump Biden 2.0 in a presidential debate. But you know someone at Trump Media and Technology Group who programs AI is going to produce, or the United Spot is going to produce, the AI Trump Biden debate, and Trump's going to sweep the floor with Joe Biden. It's not going to be as good as Trump and Biden actually doing it. And like I've tried to say a few times, or may have said a few times today, it doesn't even require Trump to play hardball, because all he has to do is say something that's going to make Joe Biden scream at the top of his lungs, blah, 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 or say something that's going to make Joe Biden look stupid. Because every time Joe Biden opens his mouth in that debate, he's going to look stupid. That's why the Democrats don't want him to debate Trump.
No, they know Papa's too old.
Right, but they don't want him to debate Trump because they don't want to risk that Trump is going to make him look any more stupid and less qualified than he already is.
Yeah, you right. I'll just put a little spin on it. It's not the point that they don't want to risk it, because when you use, seeing its keywords, when you use the word risk, that means they believe there's a chance he'll do okay. They know Papa is too old.
They know. So
they don't want him. They don't want him nowhere. The only reason they let him come in front of a camera is to do his victory tour. They know Papa getting ready to screw up, but they
don't want him at a press conference anymore, or at a meeting anymore, sitting at a table holding something like this.
No, he just embarrasses himself.
Looking at the picture of the person who's going to answer a question, getting down to the bottom of that page and turning it over.
Yeah.
And looking at the backside of it while he's showing that Randy Rhoads is going to ask him a question. You couldn't read the question, but you knew or confirmed that he is scripted. Yeah, I wouldn't have a problem if I was going to do a press conference.
Yeah. I saw,
and you see that Randy Rhoads is going to ask a question. You see the picture of Randy Rhoads while I'm looking at the other side, and you see the question that he's going to answer, or that he's going to ask, because I don't care. I'm going to answer the question. But they don't want, the point is, they don't want, like you said, they don't want the gaffe, because they know that there is a 99.9% chance that Joe Biden is going to go off script and gaffe regardless of where he is.
Go ahead, Randy, hurry up. Jump in.
Go ahead, Randy.
I saw a scary video the other day. No, it wasn't about me. It was about the Japanese have created these damn, I don't know if you would call them robots or androids, but they are, artificial skin, on top of android bodies, and they have been given the appearances of every major person in politics, including the presidents and kings and queens, and they are being trained through computer language to mimic these people in real life. They're being taught how they laugh, the jokes they make, the parodies they do, the way they talk, the way they walk. They are imprinting human uh, um, uh, personalities onto these androids or robots, whatever term you want to use, to for what purpose? Other than maybe to replace the human version and put in these androids. It was scary as shit.
Right. But if you go back 6 months or so, maybe a year, we were talking on all the broadcasts that we were doing. Boogie with the Bull. We might have talked about it when Ray was on, or we were on Ray's. The lady who is the head of the skies for, I don't remember if it is the FBI or the CIA, showed how easy it is to make a mask that looks like whoever they want you to think it is. And then you go into a meeting, or you stand behind a podium, and they just, they just sync a vocal track and make you think it's.
Anybody watch? I'll go back even further. Remember Terminator? With Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yeah.
Remember the other movie with Will Smith, iRobot?
Yeah.
You think this shit ain't Hollywood? This shit's reality. This shit is real. Only thing they do is make a couple of million of those things that they already made in the damn factory, and dude, this shit is real. That's why when you look, I don't know, it's been a couple of months ago, lady freaking out on TikTok talking about she was sitting next to somebody that wasn't human, and everybody tried to make her out to look like she was the crazy lady. And then you had a couple of people sitting down in the front row at a football game, and only certain people pointed it out after the game, and this and that. Things like this, especially when they disappear, when the stories disappear, you gotta, because they test it out somehow.
You also have the other side of that pattern where people are looking at, they have these videos of these people's eyes turning reptilian. And, Michael has been having some phenomenal shows on lately with some fantastic guests. But they write books. They go out and they teach and they do lectures and have personal experiences with, alien abduction and alien ships and so forth. I had said, he had been talking a lot about, the chemtrails and how we're trying to redo the chemistry of our planet, where we have the governments who are saying to destroy our livestock, where you have the government saying to plow over our fields, where you have the government saying that we'll have to start eating insects, and now we have this fake food that we're supposed to start eating instead of the real food. And the question is, are they prep? And of course, then you have the whole population thing where they think there's too many of us, so they're trying to kill us off to whittle us down to a smaller number. So the question is, are the money makers, the multi-billionaires, trillionaires, in a position where they know what's going on, and they are prepping our planet and prepping us in preparation for possibly an alien landing, and we're going to be living, life under them because they need a certain, atmosphere to live in or certain foods to eat. But there's so much that coming out now, And with the government's releasing all these videos of government military videos of them chasing, these alien spaceships or being chased by alien spaceships, makes one wonder, do we even need to be concerned about the next election? Should we be concerned about whether or not we're going to be here?
I can't tell you whether or not there's going to be a November 2024 congressional midterm and presidential election. I can only say that based on my 62 years of being on the planet and my somewhat 3 to 5 years of doing Boogie with the Bull, I certainly hope there is, because I don't think the Democrats or even the people above the Democrats, the elites who might think that that was part of their plan to eventually stop and end elections and just run the government forever. I don't think they factored in what will happen when they decide that it's time to implement that plan. But going back to 2018, and anybody who is watching, and the two of you here can tell me that I'm wrong, but back in 2018, there were all kinds of posts from Bill Gates and other people all over the internet talking about something called coronavirus depopulation 2020 to 2030. And it looked like it was a 10-year plan from the elites to depopulate the world from the point of view that there are too many of us here now, and they need to get rid of a large amount of us in order to save the resources. And they would say for us, but I believe it was for them. And they have to get rid of us. I went from that further on to where I have always said on Boogie with the Bull broadcast that I personally think COVID-19, which I affectionately call Jobid-21, was developed as a biological weapon, and it is being tested on us by our government. And I could be wrong. I don't want to find out that I'm right, but I don't know. I don't know. I just think the Democrats, and then I'll let you speak. I just think the Democrats are bad plan makers because, as I've said with Randy before, they tell us what they're going to do, how they're going to do it, when they're going to do it, and then they go and do it.
Hey,
and
Dave.
if they screwed that up, they still do it anyway.
Wouldn't you say it was mass depopulation for the United States of America only?
No, it's for the world.
I would say that they were probably telling us it was for the entire world, but yeah, you're probably 100% right.
Because
the only people that the elites in the United States care about is first taking over the United States and then being able to take over the world once they've taken over the United States. But go ahead.
I mean, to allow upward to almost 40 million, probably more people to come in over the past years to come in over here, that's kind of counterintuitive to depopulating the United States when you're adding to the population of the United States. Yeah, granted, there's going to be some that catch COVID and this and that, but
okay, but agree with me on something with that. Didn't Barack Obama bring in all kinds of numbers of Muslim refugees going into in his second term, hoping that all of them would vote for Hillary Clinton? And didn't they all, excuse my English, bend him over and shove it up where he probably didn't want it to be? And they voted for Donald Trump? Even with all the stuff they promised them once they got here. I also believe that it was when Barack Obama somehow got involved in human trafficking, because there were all kinds of articles that show or claim that the King of Saudi Arabia contacted Obama and said, we've built tent cities, really nice stuff where our portion of these people would live. But to be honest with you, we don't want them here. We don't want them in Saudi Arabia. We will pay you, and we'll take down our tent villages, pack them up and ship them to you, and pay you to take care of our portion of them. So, I mean, there's all kinds of theories going around, but I think what Joe Biden, or what I hope Joe Biden finds, if he is the candidate, that these 40 million people that are here now, not the ones from China and not necessarily the ones from cartel land, but the others that hop, skip, jumped, walked, and did whatever they could to get here, are going to do is, at some point, Joe Biden is going to have to turn off the support to those people, because Americans are going to stand up and say, hey,
okay,
your responsibility is to take care of us, or Trump's going to get elected in 2024 and he's going to shut it off and send them all home, which is what he says he intends to do.
Well,
if they want to stay, I would think they're going to vote for him in 2024 to go back and say, hey, life was here. Life was pretty good in the United States of America before I came here. It sucked in 2020 when Joe Biden got elected. And maybe he's going to help me get a job and help me become an American and help me support myself and my family. And life will be beautiful and not send me home.
Well, Dave, I'll just say this, and then I'm gonna have to go. You're going on 2 hours. Great show today.
I'm glad you were here, and you're welcome.
Joe Biden.
Tonight we come back at 7:00. You're welcome to join us if you're around.
Because you keep using if. You keep using if, and Joe Biden is done. Joe Biden is finished. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Once they came out and said Papa got dementia, we cannot hold Papa accountable. Even though we know he should be held accountable for shit he knew what he was doing years ago, they want to sit on the excuse that we don't want to hold him accountable because he's too old and fragile. There is no way on God's green earth they can put him in front of the American people on a debate. They can only go but so far. So it's already in the plans for Papa to be swept aside. Now, he might get away for a short time, but I believe, he will get what he's got coming.
I know. I tend to disagree with you. I just saw a recent interview with his wife, the doctor, and the reporter asked her point blank, do you think Joe Biden, your husband, blah, 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 years, and your love life, blah, 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 is too old to run for a second term? Oh, no, he has so much energy. He does more and so many hours than so-and-so does in the entire day.
Randy.
He does more than so many hours.
I know you love disagree with me because I got more of the hugs as we were kids. Mom and Dad didn't treat us the same. I know, but Randy,
he does more than anybody else in the course of a day because it's longer to do some of the stuff.
I'm trying.
Your disagreement with me must be overruled, Randy.
Oh,
what do you expect to say? This lady came out.
I have to turn off Randy's mic for a minute and let William listen.
This lady came out and said that Joe Biden does more in an hour than the average person does in it. So when you listen to people like her and Nancy Pelosi say he's got the stamina of a raging bull, and man, come on, haven't you stopped feeding into the narrative? Randy, I just wanted to do that this morning.
No, I'm not saying.
Okay, guys. All right, let's laugh at each other before we get too serious.
I'm not agreeing with
James,
her. I'm
stop
just saying
interrupting
that.
our fun.
I'm just saying. I think that you're going to see one last big gasp of energy from him before he actually conks out and burns up on the stage. I think
Well,
you're
yeah,
still
no, we
see
will
that.
see that. We will see that, or he might just fade away and they'll bring somebody new onto the scene. I don't know. But
He's
one
not
thing I
going to
do
fade
know,
away. He's going to blow up big time on stage. He's going to make a
you think
huge
so?
gaffe.
No,
Bigger than
he's going to raise his hand on stage and say, "I got to go to the bathroom. Excuse me."
Yeah,
You
he's
think
gonna-
They'll cut the
you think he'll come
commercial,
out and
and
call?
they're going to
You think
march
he'll
out
come
one of
out and
those
call Jim
droids that Randy
the
was
N
just
word?
talking about.
Hey, you think he'll come out and call Jim his White House spokesperson the N word? Like, listen, little nappy head
Yeah,
girl.
he's going to do something massive. I do believe he's going to do that.
Hey, I gotta go, gentlemen.
All right.
It was great
Hey,
being on here
Randy,
this
I
morning.
mean, excuse me, William, 7 o'clock tonight. If you're around, I'll send you a link. You're more than welcome to join us.
All right, adios,
All right. Thank
Randy.
you.
I'm telling mom and dad on you. Bye, guys.
All right. Thank you, William. All right. Wait a minute. Let me do that. All right. I apologize for not getting a lot of the comments on the screen today. My mouse batteries appear to have died. And I keep forgetting I have to use my touch screen to do it. But Randy Rhodes in the last 8 minutes. What do you want to tell us about?
I just want to say this, and so far, those who hear me haven't shut me down or corrected me or told me to shut up. I'm giving away information that I shouldn't be, but our nation right now is on a precipice of either once again becoming the greatest nation in the world, or imploding on itself and going to war with itself, or is going to fall once again to a stolen election and to stay within the realms of the liberals and those on the left who hate our nation. There are 12 states, possibly more, who believe that the power of the government of the nation resides with the governors of the states, and that the governors are the ones who's making the decisions for the states, much like it was meant to when it was first created. And that the people of these states are fed up with the government, the federal government, the 400 people I've mentioned before, telling the rest of the world how to live when it goes against their personal beliefs on how they want to, live and raise their families. So will we see a rise of the South to where you have Texas, who is right now a raging bull for the South? The Southern people are looking at them like this could be the start of something bigger. And all they need is, and they have the governors of the other 26 states who are supporting Texas. So it's not, too far of a belief of a terror of a fabric of a reality. Will we be able to split this nation once again, but do it successfully to where we do have the people living life the way they want it to be? Or are we going to fall to the left and once again, have an election that's stolen, and we have Black Lives Matter and Antifa and so forth rising up and burning down cities and so forth to get their way? I mean, you have the illegals who are coming into our country who are killing our people, raping our women. And these two guys just raped this 14-year-old girl and they got probation. Now, if that was me raping a 14-year-old girl, I'd be a boy toy in prison right now. Okay. it seems like our government, as it stands right now, is not of and by for the people. And it's sad to say this, and I hope that things can change around in the next 8-9 months. We'll just have to wait and see. With that,
Wait a minute before you're going to be with us tonight at 7.
Yes.
Okay. Also, Randy Rhodes did such a fantastic job on Tuesday night running the program. As he called it, he took the lead and made it very easy on me. I could slip into the live producer mode as well as be the host. And give me a minute here. He did so well that we're still getting views of Tuesday. The last time I checked, it was near 100 and still climbing, which is awesome for me. So I hope he comes back tonight and does another bang up job as co-host. And tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, we're going to do another morning caffeine this week. Bill Muckler, the retired Marine captain who you all know wrote the 2020 books and does the Bill Muckler show Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. here on Facebook, will be on as a guest. He can't do the entire program because, again, he goes live at 11 o'clock Eastern. You can watch the show on his profile. You can watch the show in the Bill Muckler group. But Randy is going to lead us through that. I want to thank
allegiance.
I want to thank William Rayfield from the Patriots Lab for joining us and syncing us into the William Rayfield Patriots Lab global network. And anything else you want to say, Randy?
No, just that, again, folks, conversation has been that I'm full of shit when it comes to my conversations about those in the South, and I'm not.
Hey, if you're on Boogie with a Bull, you're full of bullshit.
Yeah, bullshit. There you go. Okay. And that's even more. That's even a more nourishment of protein and nutrients for me. Thank you.
Okay.
But they are there. They're there for a reason. They are the descendants of the leaders of the South that tried to separate the nation because they wanted to live life the way they wanted to live life, much like the colonialists did when they separated from England. So these folks are descendants of those leaders, and they're trying their best to do it peacefully once again. And I believe in the possibility of that, and I'm a part of that, and I'm proud to be a part of that.
What is the name of the new coming broadcast?
I actually made and this is final. It's called The Road to Dixie.
The Road to Dixie.
The Road to Dixie. First episode is going to be Sunday at 7 p.m. It's going to only be 1 hour to start, but my client, who's also one of the board members of the Southern Independence Association, which is the political arm that's trying to separate the nation, she actually has connections to a Dixie band. So she's going to try and see if I can make use of some of their music as the prelude and post-prelude of my broadcasts. She also knows someone from Louisiana, and no, it's not Nikki, but she believes that she'd be up to showing us how to prepare a true Southern Louisiana meal live on the broadcast.
Awesome.
I'm not sure if it's going to be a roadkill to the table or what. Wouldn't that be interesting? And I told her.
No, Randy's going to save that. Roadkill with the Bull. Randy's going to host Roadkill with the Bull.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But that seems to be a big thing. And they say as long as you get if you're driving along the road and you're a true Southerner, you can tell how fresh the meat is that's laying along the side. And if it's still within a certain time frame, you can get that carcass back to your table, clean it up, and cook it, and it makes for a great meal.
I think in Massachusetts, the state police have maintained a list of people who are authorized to go and pick it up, but I think you only have an hour from when they call you. Otherwise they have state agencies that pick it up. It may still be usable meat, depending on what it is. But I think if you're on that list, you have an hour to go pick it up. I believe
there are those states that have laws in place that you can and cannot pick up the roadkill for yourself, or if you do, you have to contact the local park people. They go out, they tag it, and they say, yeah, you can make use of it and so forth. Or no, you can't. We're going to take it back to our own place. We're going to cook it up for ourselves. But yeah, so exciting things. The gentleman who's going to be joining me, Dave, you know who he is. His name is Ichabod.
I know Ichabod Palmer. A fantastic gentleman.
Yes, he's going to be talking about his career as a Confederate tombstone restorer. He restores monuments and statues and tombstones. He did say that he would also discuss his other job, which is butchering meat. But it's going to be non-political in a sense of modern day politics. We will not
politics.
No, that is.
I don't know if you'll see me there.
The gentleman who's paying for the production made it quite clear that no modern day politics, no bashing the president. Now, obviously, there'll be politics involved in discussing, that of the South, the rebel flag, the slavery, the whole, ripping the country apart, that kind of thing. But I made it quite clear that, everyone knows up front, I was born in the North. I was raised in the North. I was raised a Northern person, but I am embracing my Southern roots based on my ancestry, and that I am referred to as a copperhead.
What is a copperhead?
A copperhead is a person who was not born in the South, but who openly supports the South and the way of life of the South. That gives me all the privileges of the access into the door to be a Southern person. Exciting things happening.
I was going to tease you only because Dave Globin is a copperhead in the sense that I'm heavily invested in 3 ounces of fine copper that has Donald Trump's head on one side of it.
Speaking of his head, have you seen the latest rap video that someone did of him and Tucker?
No, but like I said earlier, I think that you're going to see all of the entertainment parody channels on Facebook start putting out parody of Trump Biden 2.0. You might even see TMTG, the Trump Media and Technology Group, do it and put them up on True Social. But anyway, Randy, it's about that time. You got to do that.
I'm going to do it. I'll send you that video. I think you'll get a crack out of it.
Okay.
So bring a little smirk to your face.
All right. The handicap parking space on the left is on the right is yours tonight.
Oh, okay.
Actually, both may be available, but take the one on the right.
All right. Am I right or you're right?
Your right hand when you pull into the driveway.
Sounds like a plan, Dave. It's great.
All right, Randy. Always a pleasure. 2 hours. 2 hours and 5 minutes. 2 hours and 5 minutes, and we probably got to take a break.
Yeah, there you go. So,
all right, Randy. Because my mouse
here.
is not working, you got to ignite your parachute on your own.
That's okay. Let me hit some buttons here. Get me positioned properly, and I'm going to parachute out. You take.
All right, Randy. The host of The Road to Dixie, which will be 7 p.m. Eastern on Sundays on the Randy Rhodes Facebook channel. So please watch out. Always a pleasure to have Randy Rhodes here. Really enjoy having William Rayfield on too lately. And Michael Anthony has popped in a few times. Beth McCord is invited to join us on Tuesday Night Live, Boogie with the Bull, 7 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday. Thursday's always up in the air. Thursday night, Boogie with the Bull live tonight. Ichabod Palmer had said maybe he would be available for tonight. I'll check with Beth McCord to see if she's available. Maybe Jen Woodruff. Maybe anybody else. William, Randy, me, anybody. If you want to be on the panel, there are 7 guest slots available. And all you got to do is let me know by 6 p.m. tonight if you want to be on the broadcast, and we will work you in. God forbid there are more than 7 people that want to be on, then we'll kind of move people along, but we've never had that problem. StreamYard says that we should be able to have 10 people on it, which would be 9 people plus me, but I think it maxes out at 8 people. But anyway, I did want to touch base on a couple of things before we go. Yesterday, Bill Muckler had said on his broadcast, the Bill Muckler Show, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, weekdays at 11 p.m. Eastern here on Facebook on the Bill Muckler profile and in the Bill Muckler Show group, that he wasn't sure how many times Valentine's Day and Ash Wednesday were on the same day. So I went and looked. In the current century we are in, it happened back in 2018. It happened yesterday in 2024, and it will happen 5 years from now in 2029. It is not noted whether or not it will happen after 2029 or before we get into the next century. I don't know if they have figured that out yet. Last century, it happened in 1923, 1934, 1945. So we'll keep track on that in the future. Make sure if you watch Boogie with the Bull, you watch it in our groups, which are Red Patriots for America, MAGA News Nation, Conservative Freedom Defenders, Who's With Me, which is a Trump group, Boogie with the Bull, True Patriot, True Patriot Talk, the United Media Group Uncensored, the Great American Nation, American Regulators, the Hardcore Conservatives Group, and yes, Americans for Free Speech is still part of the family, always was part of the family. That's Eric Leon Barton's group, which he started a long time ago and made me the first admin besides him in that group. And then I got crazy with groups and whatever and departed, and I'm back in there. And I think Beth McCord is an admin in there. I think Jen Woodruff is an admin in there. And it's a great group. So look up Americans for Free Speech and join that group as well. If you have a conservative patriot group or a patriot group or a conservative group that you would like us to mention here on Boogie with Bull, message me and I will include it and I will send the broadcast to the group. And as long as people in your group want to see it, I hope they watch it. Live chats are on the Dave Glovin Facebook page and on the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel for now. That's where they are. And we're looking at Rumble. We are, as we discussed the other day, I will sit down with William Rayfield and learn how to do. I know how to do it. If I set it up before, I could set up StreamYard to YouTube. I could go over to YouTube and grab the link, and I could take the link and put it anywhere I wanted to before we went live. I haven't done that in the past, but we could do that. And we could land it on Rumble, and we could land it in groups on other social media networks and kind of just start expanding. I am interested in paying Rumble to do it on Rumble and have Rumble behind us and I am interested in doing it on X and having X behind us. The only problem, the reason that I don't do it much anymore, I could link it to my @BoogieWTBull, the Boogie with the Bull X account, is that I don't think most people are going to want to watch a 2.5, 2, or even hour and a half or 1 hour tweet, but I could be wrong. And I don't have the support staff with me to be able to get a room on Twitter or a private spot to be able to set it up and do it, but maybe down the road, who knows. Plus I'd have to mess around with StreamYard and do a whole bunch of other modifications that we don't always get a chance to do. Robin Brunson is watching. Good morning, Robin. Nice to see you here. I have to scroll manually on this screen because my mouse battery died, or my light behind the Chromebook is stealing most of the Bluetooth this morning. But Roger, I don't want to butcher names, but Roger Watch, thank you for watching. William Rayfield was on the broadcast. I was on the broadcast. Mama D Denise was watching. Pleasure to have you watch. Michael Anthony popped in for a little bit and watched. I hope that he will be with us tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern for Boogie with the Bull Thursday Night Live. And then, like I said, tomorrow morning at 10 a.m., Friday morning, Randy Rhodes and I have the privilege of Bill Muckler from the Bill Muckler Show. Will be on for a few minutes to talk with us. So that should be informative, enlightening, and fun. And I hope that you will be watching. So I think that just about covers everything on my notes. Like I said, The Road to Dixie with Randy Rhodes, Sundays, 7 p.m. Eastern on the Randy Rhodes Facebook channel, more commonly known as his profile. And looking for genealogy, talk to Randy Rhodes. There is a group, I believe, on Facebook, All Roads, RHODES, All Roads Lead to Home. Join the group. That's the name of his business. Take a look around. He will give you in 15 minutes, he will go back 5 generations and usually provide you with enough information that you want him to continue. I believe it is a $250 a month subscription. And from what I know and what he has said and what other people have told me they charge, it is the least expensive to get good genealogy service. So consider doing that. Let me pop over this for a second. Michael Anthony told me I don't know how to write profiles, and this was kind of written ad lib before going on Tuesday, but go to the Michael Anthony Facebook profile and become his friend, take part in the discussions, and watch the broadcast. Michael's friends get notifications of the broadcast. That's about all I can tell you. We will reword it, and if Michael is on tonight, he can promo his upcoming broadcast. Also, the American Rebellion is now on Rumble Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern. You can watch it. I can't. And that's all I'm going to say on that, but you should watch it. There are a lot of things on Facebook and on other social media that you should watch and listen and decide for yourself. That's the mission of Boogie with the Bull. We will present you options. I will tell you what I think. Other people on the broadcast may tell you what they think. In the live chat, they will always tell you what they think. But at the end of the broadcast, when I'm done, you have to decide what you think for yourself and what yourself is going to do. That's all I can tell you. I am not here to tell you what to do. I am not here to tell you how you should do anything. We just present opportunities. We just release information. Like I said, God told me one day, he said, you're a communicator and you just communicate whatever you think you need to communicate or whatever I tell you to communicate, and let people decide for themselves. So, Robin, have a wonderful day off. Robin is the person who suggested Fat Cup Coffee Company and their coffee. evening broadcast when we were talking about the best coffee. So go to the Fat Cup Coffee Company Facebook page, take a look around, go over to their Fat Cup Coffee Company website, look around and order. You can get ground coffee shipped to you. You can get whole beans shipped to you. And I believe in some cases there are K-Cups available that they will ship to you as well. As we make some changes, tighten up Boogie with the Bull, work with different panels here and there, I'm going to try to contact them again and see if they will become a sponsor and provide stuff that we can give away that will hopefully draw more people to Fat Cup Coffee Company as well as to Boogie with the Bull. Robin had talked to them and they may have watched a few times, but some broadcasts kind of got very loose and not as tight as we wanted them to be. And hopefully we can talk to Fat Cup Coffee Company and get them sponsoring and maybe giving us some stuff that we can give away. And if you are a business and you want to become a sponsor of Boogie with the Bull, we will plug you throughout the broadcasts, and we will plug you in posts on Facebook about the broadcasts. I'm not looking for money. Sometimes I'm looking for stuff, free stuff like hats, shirts, cups, mugs, whatever that I can use at home, as well as stuff that maybe we can give away to help promote your business. I pay for this broadcast. Okay, this is the part of the broadcast where I say you've been watching Boogie with the Bull Morning Caffeine for Thursday, February 15th, 2024. It's a copyrighted presentation of the No Budget Broadcasting Company. We own it all. If we screw up and we violate somebody else's copyright, we will apologize as soon as we are notified, and we will promise never to do it again until the next time that we do it. Unfortunately, we're live on Facebook and we're live on YouTube, and they like nothing better than to spank me for copyright violations anytime they can, and to either suspend my privileges on YouTube or try to suspend my privileges on Facebook. But we would love to promote your business on a Boogie with the Bull broadcast, either ceramic mugs and coffee, or travel mugs and coffee, or hats and coffee, or t-shirts and coffee, and give that stuff away. What we'll do is we'll set up some kind of a contest and we'll give it away, and those people will contact you directly, or I'll give you a list. I'll give them a list of who won, and they can contact you through Facebook to make arrangements to get stuff to you. Boogie with the Bull Uncensored ceramic mugs are available. You've seen it. It has the Boogie with the Bull Uncensored logo on it. They're $20. It's $10 for the mug plus $10 to have it shipped to you. Jen Woodruff is the contact if you want to get one of them. We do not make any money on them. We just sell them. We could do travel mugs down the road, and we could do ceramic mugs down the road as well. But the cost is prohibitive on doing ceramic mugs. We will probably do travel mugs. They're going to be expensive. And if you want one, buy one. And if you don't. T-shirts may come one day, and T-shirts may come one day, and polo shirts may come one day, because I like polo shirts. But anyway, I think we have abused the privilege of your time enough for this morning. Remember, like I said, tomorrow, Friday, 10 a.m., Morning Caffeine is Randy Rhodes and I with Bill Muckler in segment number 1. And then anyone else is welcome to join the broadcast for the remainder of the time. And I don't know yet for sure whether or not there will be a rare Saturday morning Boogie with the Bull. It depends on whether or not I can line up Michael Anthony to do it with us, William Rayfield, Randy Rhodes, and anyone else, okay? Including people who are angry at me right now. I keep saying I'm not going to discuss this, but if you're angry at me and you don't want me on your broadcast anymore, that's fine. You're still welcome to come here and play in the house of Boogie with the Bull. And as I said yesterday, if anyone on Facebook is angry at me, hey, you're allowed to come on to Boogie with the Bull. I'll give you 10 or 15 minutes to yell at me or do whatever you want, as long as you give me a few minutes to respond. I'll try to work it out. If I can't work it out with you and you just get mad at me and then ignite your own parachute, you will not be allowed to come back. Because honestly, life is too short to keep dealing with this thing. But unfortunately, my brain's just not letting go. And as I said earlier in this broadcast today to William, that when God slams a door in my face and I burn the bridge, usually if I turn around and manage to get across the bridge, there's another opportunity that's going, and that's Boogie with the Bull Morning Caffeine on the days that we can do them at 10 o'clock Eastern. Boogie with the Bull Tuesday Night Live and Thursday Night Live at 7 p.m. Eastern, and a rare Saturday morning Boogie with the Bull when we can do them. If you have an idea for a Boogie with the Bull broadcast, you message me on Facebook Messenger or you email me at boogiewiththebull@gmail.com. That's BOOGIEWITHBULL, Boogie at the Bull with gmail.com. If you're on X or Twitter or whatever you want to call it, you can follow at Boogie WT Bull. The shifted to Boogie at the Bull. No, excuse me. Shifted to Boogie BWT Bull. Shifted to Boogie WT Bull. That's who I am on X, on Streetlock, STREETLOC.com. You can follow me at Dave Glovin. You can also follow me at Boogie with the Bull, but it's probably better to follow me at Dave Glovin or follow me at both. On True Social, I am Dave Glovin. We have a Boogie with the Bull group there, but we haven't done much with it yet. And we're just everywhere we can try to be. The goal is really to be everywhere we can be that we don't have to pay to be there, and get the broadcasts out, whether we're live or we're podcasted. So I appreciate everybody who watched today, even if you didn't watch the entire broadcast, that when you come in, share it to as many groups on Facebook as you can. And if you do, message me at some point and let me know where you shared it to, so I can at least go in and see if people wanted to watch it or not. And if you watch the podcast, feel free to put your comments into the podcast, and I'll get notified, and I will watch your comments and read your comments and make a note. And on the next Boogie with the Bull broadcast, I will try to address your comments. Anyway, this has been 2.5 hours, so it is really time to lock it up. I got to take a nap and get ready for tonight. Like I said, Ichabod Palmer might be on tonight. Check and see if Jen Woodruff can be with us. I will check and see if Beth McCord can be with us. I will check and see if Michael Anthony can be with us. At the worst, Randy Rhodes and I will be here, and you being in the live chat will be just as involved as you care to be. Robin Brunson asked, have I ordered any coffee since she sent me the sample about a month ago? No, I haven't, Robin. And the reason that I haven't, to be honest with you, was that I was hoping that by now I would have worked out something with them for some kind of a sponsorship announcement and done it as a trade out. I'm 62 years old and just got pre-approved for my first credit card in my life, and I'm waiting for it to arrive and be able to live life in the fast lane of being a successful host of broadcasts and group admin on Facebook and other social media networks, and be able to live life in the fast lane. But I can tell people that the house blend of Fat Cup Coffee Company's coffee is fantastic. It's really good. And that comes from a person who around here, we drink Maxwell House because that's what my wife drinks. We drink Maxwell House unless I have something that I prefer over Maxwell House. And that's what it is. And if you're a different coffee company, you are more than welcome to talk with me. And same thing. Make arrangements with you, do a trade out for your coffee and your gear to give away. And I will plug and mention you all the time in the groups and in the Facebook news feed and on other social media networks that I'm on, and see if we can help track some sales to you. Mama D, a very pleasure for having you watch for the first time, Denise. And like I said, I would try to say your last name, but I will butcher it. And a very great mentor, friend of mine who I had the privilege of meeting, Gil Har, back when he was news director of KYUU in San Francisco, used to say, don't butcher someone's name. Make notes and write it phonetically so that you can pronounce their name, or just say their first name, or just say something so that it doesn't embarrass you and embarrass them. So Mama D, it was a pleasure having you watch, and maybe just for fun, we'll have you come on a Boogie with the Bull broadcast sometime and teach us all how to pronounce your name. But Mama D works even better. So with that, we're going to end today's Boogie with the Bull broadcast, 2 hours and 30 minutes, a little bit less. Last thing, we are looking for somebody who has access to a studio and the skill to know how to use it, who can take a Boogie with the Bull broadcast and go through it and look for, 2-minute, 3-minute clips, and can cut the clips and then send them to me. And unfortunately, I can't afford to pay you, so it's somebody who is willing to do it for trade, for as a sponsor who might lend some work from being plugged on all the assorted broadcasts we do and broadcasts that I might be on, and groups that we have everywhere on social media. And those will probably be released here and there and everywhere. Anyway, Mama D, thank you. Robin, thank you. Let's see. Roger A, I'm not going to take a chance on butchering your name either. Michael Anthony, thank you. Jeff Ulrich, I hope you watch tonight. Lily Priest, I hope you watch. And still trying to line up things and other people that might want to be involved in the broadcast idea that you sent me. And whoops, hold that, let me get that. And I apologize for my mouse, the mouse battery's dying or something with my hub interfering and preventing my mouse from working. And now I'm going to say goodbye. And I'll be in the Admon group on Messenger, and anybody else can reach me on Messenger or take part in our groups here on Facebook. Double B's for victory. Whoops. Double B's for victory. This Boogie with the Bull broadcast is coming to an end one more time.